So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it.
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Good morning, sunshine, and welcome back to another episode of the LaTangela Show podcast. You know, it does my heart well to have this time together, especially when we can chit about this and chat about that. And we're wrapping up 2024, and we want to wrap up 2025 in the best, healthiest version that we can. So I had to hit up the heavy hitters, the one that has all of the answers to my questions. And sometimes I'm complex because in my mind, I can make it make sense. So don't let me out talk you today. You got to stop me and correct me when I'm wrong, okay? Look, on behalf of Women's Center for Wellness, thank you so much to none other than Michelle Landry. How are you?
Wonderful. I'm excited and happy to be here.
This is your first field trip to the madhouse. Just promise that it will not be your last.
Well, we'll see.
Oh, okay. Now look, and then
you want me back
today. So look, just lock the door and don't let her leave this interview just yet, okay? Tell me a little bit about the job description that you have as a registered dietitian. What are some of the things that typically come across your desk?
Okay, well, I see patients, or I see clients or patients. We have patients who might be referred by doctors that will come in with different disease conditions, or sometimes we have clients who just want to work on lifestyle changes. So we work on weight loss, or maybe it's just making healthier choices. So we have lots of programs that I participate with programs that last for 12 or 8 weeks, and they'll get a diet plan with me, and then they follow up with a health coach or with a fitness instructor. And so we do a lot of that. I help out with the some of the members at the fitness center,
Right.
Work on their goals.
Right. And with Women's Hospital, you all have such a dynamic team. So where if someone is looking for dietitian needs, if they're looking for a workout plan, if they're looking for just complete total wellness, they can find it all under that umbrella. And you know, new year, new me, we're approaching it right now. Everybody's talking about it. And we don't want to be on the cusp of more fad diets that we eventually crash with. We don't want to pick up the trends because those trends very well may not be as healthy for us as we would like for those desired results. When you meet with your clients, how do you help them line up what should be their healthy expectations?
But generally for healthy, I like to think about that healthy plate and getting as much color on our plate as possible. So getting lots of variety as far as fruits and vegetables. And, I probably I like to spend a lot of time on this because people don't realize how important getting all those vegetables are, because all the different colors, we don't want to just eat broccoli every day, all the different colors, trying some beets or some turnips or okras, greens. Each one has a different nutrient profile, and those nutrients are what drive like our metabolism as well as every other process in our body. So I think it's important. That's one thing I focus on, is getting lots of variety, try to get lots of fiber, because all those fruits and vegetables have, lots of good fiber, which you hear lots of talk about the healthy gut biome. So it feeds the healthy bacteria that resides in our gut, feed off the fiber. So that's a big, I feel like a big important role in patients that are, just general healthy.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you mentioned about the different colors, like don't just have broccoli every day. Don't just have the greens, try the beets, because everything plays a different role for your metabolism. Because some days, Michelle, I feel as if I don't own a metabolism. So I need to start talking about what's going to boost my metabolism. What am I doing different outside of saying, you know what, I'm at work all day and then at 10 o'clock at night, I realize I haven't eaten that day, and then I get hungry, and that's the one meal of the day. Yeah, okay, I'm working against myself. Don't fuss at me. That was my one confession of the hour. Um, so when we start talking about focusing on that plate and what should be on that plate, how do we also do portion control and what that clock should look like when we are trying to activate our metabolism and keep a healthy balance?
So the plate should be half your plate of, vegetables of lots of color, and then a quarter of your plate with your protein option, and then another quarter of your plate with what I consider the carb option. And and you said something about the calories. Not all calories are created equal. So it is important to get the right things. So when you're talking about the carbs, it's kind of what most people are a little bit of afraid of. I try to, on a day-to-day basis, I try to make people think, eat what nourishes our body. So when your carbs, look for the things that maybe are less processed, more high fiber carbs. So when you're looking at bread or pasta or rice, look for the higher fiber options.
And when we start talking about building our immune system, because everybody's out and about, the weather is changing. We're doing this vacation, a lot of traveling. What are some of the things that we should always implement in our dietary needs to make sure that we're keeping things balanced?
I think, making sure you get those fruits and vegetables, that's going to help, feed that healthy gut biome. And when our gut is healthy, then our body and mind are both healthy.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. I was talking to one of my friends early last week. She was like, I'm really trying to get more water in my system, but water is so nasty. I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean water is nasty, right? And I don't know if it's a glitch somewhere between here and there that has her believing it, but it's a task for a lot of us to be able to get those things that we need that we may not necessarily just like. When it comes down to making sure that we're hydrated, how important is that? Whether we think it's nasty or not, Michelle.
Right. I think hydration is very important. It helps you think about your cells as being 60 to 70% fluid, that in order for them to work their best, they need to be well hydrated. And, trying to get that water, we usually recommend, I usually try to get people to start with the 64 ounces, and you can even break that up in your day, have 32 ounces before lunch. And then one thing that I do is I get 32 ounces in the morning, and then I have a 32-ounce water in my car on my way home. So I try to get that rest of it to try to meet that needs. You can have up to half your body weight in ounces of water. It seems like, wait, you said something else I was going to hit upon that is a point, but I lost.
Was it the immune system, or was it my metabolism and me cheating at 10 o'clock at night with my first meal?
Oh, no. I know what it was. It was taste. You were talking about how people were complaining about taste. And I'm always telling people, this is one of my favorite things, is that taste is learned. We are not born with our taste buds. So it takes 12 times to really change that taste palette and decide, to choose healthier options. Because a lot of times I see people who are not used to eating vegetables, and that's a big point for me, is getting lots of vegetables in. Keep trying those vegetables, because our taste or learn, use lots of herbs and spices to try to make them, try different ways of preparing them.
And I'm glad that you hit on that point, that it's a learned process when it comes to taste. Because when we start talking about the kids and these healthier choices and lifestyles and implementing that earlier, it's because now those healthier choices has to be programmed more so than the marketing of any arches or any colors or any advertisements that may have little trinkets that come along with it, because it's a lot harder to fight that beast if you're not even ahead of the curve. So what are some ways that you would advise or encourage families to make sure that the kids are getting into the habit of having their fruits and their vegetables as the treats?
Well, I think first, having a meal times together, sitting down and having meal times. And you have to remember, as a parent, you're the model. You modeling what you want your kids to eat. So you have to start with making those changes for yourself if you're not eating vegetables yet. And then, as parents, we provide healthy foods, and, providing that colorful plate with a little bit of, your protein and your extra carbs, and you sitting down at the table, and when they see you eating those things, it becomes familiar to them, even if they don't try them or they say they don't like them right away. Keep offering, keep serving those different colors.
Right. And when we start looking for alternative routes, right? If we don't want to jeopardize our taste, welcome to Louisiana, where we eat when we're happy, when we're sad, we celebrate with food, we are miserable with it. It doesn't matter the occasion, the food will be there, and it's always a part of the process. Now, it's okay if you come into the potluck and you say you're bringing something, but if that recipe tends to stray away from the things that we know, love, and look forward to, how do we make healthier decisions without jeopardizing that taste? You're gonna have to help me out and dig deep on this one now, Michelle.
Well, like even when I'm eating, for Thanksgiving or Christmas and big gatherings, I try to just put small amounts. It's not like you can never eat your favorite foods again. It's just all about, balance and proportion. I try to keep my plate still filled with half vegetables, and then just taking small bites of those things that I really love and enjoy that may not be the healthier options.
Yeah.
Food should be fun. I mean, we should enjoy eating, and that should be something that, not that you can't eat anything that you love ever again.
Right. Thank you for that. See, that's the confirmation I needed. My girl, we're on the right track. We are here. We are here. All right. So, 'tis the season of new year, new me. What are some of the little steps that will help us make a big difference?
And besides, the diet, getting that healthy plate, the other things, is just being active, finding things that you enjoy doing that is, that is active, and even just little things in your day. They recommend 150 minutes of, the activity a week, and that's 30 minutes a day, taking little walks after your meals, parking. I park the farthest spot in the parking lot just so that I get a few extra steps. Finding things that you enjoy doing that are active. It doesn't have to be just in a gym. It could be, my husband plays in a band, so I go dancing every weekend, or
Right.
maybe it's pickleball or tennis, finding some things to be active. That's one big thing that you can do.
Yeah. That's big, especially now with all of our families spending time together and looking for ways to put down the devices and to unplug, to tap in. Because right now, that clutters our mind so much, and it's giving us all these different trends, and it's making us so desensitized to the things that's in the moment and in the now. If we do that and we get outside, get some of this vitamin D in our system, because, they used to have to wrangle us back inside to come from outside from playing. And now, you don't even really see kids outside playing as much anymore.
And that brings me to, that's another important thing about, another small thing you can do is like make when you eat be something that you do purposefully and without distractions. Sitting down together as a family, you mentioned the family. I like to, have a family where, having time where there's no TV, no eye device, where you're having conversations. And sometimes for families, because I've worked with families, sometimes it's hard, because that's not, it's all about changing habits. We have to change our habits. And, sitting together as a family, it may not be the most interesting conversations with the 2 or 3-year-old, but still trying to, at that very young age, trying to incorporate, good conversations, because lots of things happen around that table. And if you make a practice of when you're eating, sitting down at the table, then you're going to be more mindful about what you put in your mouth. If you sit there with the TV on or in front of the TV, then you might not be even realizing or listening to any hunger cues. I know during the pandemic, when I was working at home more, I noticed myself, like every time I sat at my desk, I felt like I needed to go get a snack. And I wasn't really listening to hunger cues. I was just, that was just became a habit. So it's like just breaking that habit and making those new habits of, let's sit together at the table, or even if you're by yourself, sit down and make that purposefully eating, because you're going to enjoy it a lot more, and you're going to really be thinking about what you put in your mouth. So that's good. Another small practice that you can make.
Let's talk about heading to this grocery store. Now, if we're out here and we're shopping on an empty stomach, we're shopping with our eyes, and everything needs to get in this basket at the same time. I need some serious tips, right? So I have one question, and it's, it's a small one, but I kind of toy with this idea. Everybody's harping on organic. And I'm like, well, is the vegetable still good even if it's not organic?
Yes, absolutely. I think that, you getting a variety. I look for organic because I think it has less pesticides, but I look also for what, looks the best. And don't overlook like the frozen vegetables. One of my little tricks that I tell patients or clients sometime about getting those vegetables in, go to the frozen section if because they'll say, well, I don't want to waste the food, and I hate food waste. So, going in the grocery store, getting 7 bags of frozen, 10-ounce bags of frozen vegetables, choose a different one for every day. And that's like an easy way to just start with, incorporating that. So I think the important thing is just getting those vegetables in.
Good. Now, I said I would do one confession per hour. I didn't tell the truth. I have a second confession. You just said something about food waste. Don't judge me. Help me. Okay. So with avocados, I know how healthy the reports say that they are. But Michelle, I could buy a bag of avocados. I could buy 2 avocados. I could buy 1 avocado, and I can never seem to get it right. So it's either too hard or I go back the next hour and it's too right. Like, what is the perfect way to know how to find that avocado and to be able to store it properly? Because I really do love the health benefits that it has, but it's a waste for me every time.
Well, and that is something we buy every single week. One is just finding I look for one that's has a little bit of give, like when you touch it, you squeeze it, it has a little bit of give, and that it's right at that cusp of turning, ready. So then I might eat it the next day. So I do have this master at an art on, I'm very picky about those avocados. But another idea, and then if you only eat half of it, they say if you keep the seed and you cover it with like a saran wrap where there's no air getting in, may be helpful. But I used to have this problem with my daughter when she was in college. We would buy her avocados because she wanted them, and then they would let them go bad. So one option is those little they're called holy avocado or holy guacamole. They're like little cups, and they're always green, and they're always seem to be fresh. So if you're doing like an avocado spread on toast, it's a perfect, and it's, it's equivalent to about a half of an avocado in each little cup. And the only ingredients on it is avocado. So that might be an option.
It has to be, because what I'm doing is not working. I have all of the right intentions and everything goes wrong. And I'm like, not only did I waste my time and my money, but my feelings are hurt because I really wanted to do better. No, I absolutely love it. If you had another power food that you say is a hidden jewel, what would it be? Doop, 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 doop.
Okay, I have lots of power foods. I mean, there again, I feel like it's a good variety. Power food. I like the avocado. I like the sweet potato. I like cranberries. I know not everybody loves cranberries, but during Thanksgiving, I like rack up on them so that I can add them to a smoothie because they have lots of antioxidants. So berries are just have lots of good nutrition and antioxidants. So it's hard for me. I like lots of foods. But probably those are my favorite power foods, I guess.
And that's good to know because we have so many health elements that will plague our community, not understanding that food can either be our medicine or our poison. And when we start thinking about the things that we consume and how often we consume them and in the portions that we consume them, what does the sodium intake look like? how many carbs are we harboring every day, and what does that do to our body? So I encourage all of our listeners and our viewers to, one, come in and just have a sit down, a one-on-one, to see where's your baseline, to understand, what damage has been done and how we can work to correct that, because you want to be able to find those healthier options. And it's intriguing. We spend a lot of time on these social media sites, from TikTok to Instagram, to trying to see what's the latest. And if we focus that much on our health, we'll see that they have so many great options, but to definitely leave it to the professionals. And Michelle, you were my go-to for this.
Awesome. I thank you for, letting me have this opportunity to visit with you.
Hey, you already said it will not be your last, so I'll be looking for you again real soon. I'm going to try that avocado this week. I'm going to the grocery store today, and I'm gonna say, okay, what will Michelle do? What will Michelle do? What will Michelle do?
I mean, sometimes I'll buy them great, like hard, where they're hard, and we let them ripen outside, like outside the refrigerator.
Okay, so should I store them on the counter and not the fridge?
Right. I will, if they're hard, like if they're, have no give in them, and I buy them that way, I will leave them out on the counter, and they will ripen. And we just try to eat them in that small window of time.
I'm with it. New year, new me, no trends. We're going to do this the right way. And thank you so much to you and your wonderful team. You can unlock the door now. She is free to carry on with the rest of her day. If we want more information, if we want to see all of the greatness that's going on, how can we contact you all?
Well, you can look at it. We do, we also, as part of part of my job, we do some community education classes. You can find those at womans.org. If you're looking, we have, as part of our program, we have a nutrition navigator. I can give you her phone number, and she can sit down with any person and kind of go through what programs we offer, and whether it's, or maybe make up your own program, whether it is just seeing a dietitian, or whether you would like to do one of our healthy aging or our weight loss programs, or just general overall Mediterranean lifestyle. And her number, the number to our nutrition navigator is 924-8705.
There it is. Teamwork make the dream work. And I look forward to getting you back in the hot seat on the 10 line real soon. Awesome. I know you have more work to do, so I'm gonna let you chase the sun, or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.